Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Now some Americans have already said they received a stimulus check, and also some people have said that stimulus checks were deposited into the wrong bank accounts. And this is forcing many people to wait longer for the badly needed aid if they're struggling financially during the pandemic.
This week I can report this isn't just on the way, it's here, sooner than many ever thought possible. Over the next 10 days, we'll reach two giant goals. The first is 100 million shots in people's arms will have been completed within the next 10 days.
Now first, before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn on post notifications, and give this video a like. Because in this video, we'll be discussing the latest news about your third stimulus check and when you should expect to receive it. So like I said folks, some people have already received the third stimulus check, but some people also have said that the stimulus payments were sent into the wrong bank accounts.
And 100 million checks in people's pockets in the next 100 days. Shots in arms and money in pockets. That's important. The American Rescue Plan is already doing what it was designed to do, make a difference in people's everyday lives. And we're just getting started. By the time all the money is distributed, 85% of American households will have gotten a $1,400 rescue checks. To give one more example, for the average family of two parents and two children, making a combined income of $110,000 a year, that's going to add $5,600. Some
taxpayers were surprised to see that the last four digits of their bank account numbers were incorrect when they checked their payment status on the IRS website. That's according to Yahoo Finance, everybody. And this is an issue that happened during the first rounds of their payments, when technical glitches from third-party tax preparers caused delays for many filers. Now folks, some taxpayers are frustrated that they might have to wait for a paper check in the mail, while others still haven't received a dime of the second payment that was supposed to arrive months ago. When USA Today contacted the IRS, the agency directed all questions to the FAQ page for its Get My Payment tool. If a filer's bank information is invalid or the account has been closed, the bank will return the payment to the IRS, and the agency will mail a check to the address on file. That's what the IRS said on its website, everybody.
For them, $5,600 they'll get. And the plan does a lot more. It extends unemployment insurance for the 11 million Americans unemployed and any who will be unemployed in the near term. It'll help hundreds of thousands of small businesses keep their doors open, which makes a gigantic difference in neighborhoods and communities. If you have a drugstore, if you have a beauty shop, a hardware store, it's the center of small communities. And it gets our schools and resources they need to open safely. It provides the biggest investment in child care since World War II. And it provides food and nutrition help for the millions of families, keep them from going hungry, keeping a roof over their heads. And it expands health care coverage and lowers health care costs for so many people. And it will cut child poverty in half in this country.
Now folks, I want you all to notice that the issue with the wrong bank accounts popped among filers in the first two rounds who had set up tax advance in previous years when filing returns. That's according to what tax professionals said. The IRS and tax partners took steps to redirect stimulus payments to the correct account for those affected, according to the IRS. It is unclear why the wrong account information showed up again. For filers who don't receive a direct payment in the first two rounds or received less money than they were eligible for, they may be eligible to claim the recovery rebate credit on the 2020 returns.
That's the estimate. Child poverty will be cut in half as a consequence of what's in this Recovery Act. And it will generate economic growth for the entire nation. That's why major economists, left, right, and center, support this plan. Even Wall Street has agreed. According to Moody's, by the end of this year, this law will spur our economy to create 7 million new jobs. And it does one more thing. It focuses on rebuilding the backbone of this country. Working families, the middle class, people who built this country. But as I said last week, it's one thing to pass a historic piece of legislation like the American Rescue Plan.
In the coming weeks, more batches of payments will be sent via direct deposit and through the mail as a check or debit card. Some people may see direct deposits as pending or as provisional payments in their accounts before the official payment date as of March 17th, according to the IRS. In addition, folks, for those of you on Social Security and SSI or SSDI, Social Security and other federal beneficiaries will generally receive this third payment the same way as the regular benefits. A payment date for this group is to be announced very soon. Now in the prior rounds, if the IRS did not have a routing and account information for a direct deposit, taxpayers would then be sent either a paper check or an EIP debit card. Paper checks and debit cards require more processing and mailing time. Some people may receive the message, payment status not available, when checking the IRS site.
And it's quite another to implement it. And the devil is in the details. It requires fastidious oversight to make sure the relief arrives quickly, equitably, and efficiently with no waste or fraud in your bank account, in your mailbox, to the local business, in your community, and to your child's school. Look, I've been here before. When President Obama and I came to office in 2009, he put me in charge of implementing the Recovery Act, which helped us recover and rebuild during the Great Recession. I was authorized to put together a team, including an accountability board with inspectors general from different agencies that were affected by the act, to make sure we got the roughly $800 billion out into the countryside by the book and quickly over 18 months. I talked to literally over 150 mayors, all governors except one, constantly going over the granular detail of the implementation of this legislation. And the effort put us on a path from crisis to recovery to resurgence. Accordingly, to the Oversight Board of Inspectors General, they said we got it done with less than 0.2% waste or fraud. And that's not what the previous administration did, though. When the Congress last year passed the CARES Act, the Congress created a committee of inspectors general to make sure every penny of that money was spent as it was directed. But one of the first things the previous administration did was fire the head of the Inspector General's committee. So when Congress passed what was intended to be a small business relief program, it instead became a free-for-all for well-connected companies.
Now the IRS said, everybody, if you get this message, then either they have not processed your payment or you are not eligible for the stimulus check. Now if that happens, filers check to make sure they meet requirements of the money. Filers must have a social security number that is valid for employment and are a U.S. citizen or a U.S. resident alien. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
And mainstream businesses, from hardware stores to beauty salons, that needed the help most were left behind. 400,000 are now gone. We will not let that happen this time.